hello. Sean Brady, regular wine guy. Sean J. Brady Avivino with my man, the one, the only, the very talented, extra cool sommelier in California, Jatons Big Gunter. Jatons, my man, how you doing?
I am wonderful right now. How are you doing out there?
You know, I am. I'm on a Lake of the Ozarks, sunset, with it, sunrise beach. Oh my gosh, sunset, sunrise. There's a lot of sun things going on down here, but it's a lake. It's lake time, right? It's vacation. It's fun, and it's pretty hot. So we're enjoying all kinds of fun in water themed things and picnics and outdoor activities. So thanks for asking. We're having a fabulous time. How
Sounds
about
like
you?
a
And
great time to me.
it
Sounds like a
is.
wonderful time. Yeah, it sounds like the thing to be doing during this during the hotter days that have just come upon us. I wish it's not that hot out here though. California is about 70 degrees. I know you guys probably around like 90-ish. We're
Yeah.
like at a perfect 70. People are starting to get it's starting to get a little warmer. People are starting to go out a little bit more. Beaches are starting to fill up. I'm still kind of a hermit. I'm still staying inside the house and working from home a lot. Uh, but I get to drink with you guys online all the time, so this works for me. I can just continue to do this, and my life will be great. So
And
anyway,
we're
what
just
was
here to help you have your life be great because
well,
I know you
thank you,
do
Sean.
that for us. So it's good
Thank you,
stuff.
Sean.
So we're
So
on
what
local Zins today, and
yes, sir.
admittedly, I could not find a, great local Missouri Zin. Not that there's not one out there. I'm sure
Mhm.
there is, and I'm sure there's some cross pollinated, grapes that are derived from Zin and made to handle the crazy weather we have here. But the ones that I found and researched up online that are made here in Missouri, I wasn't 100% sure if that was juice sourced in Missouri or it was a hybrid or what have you. And the one that I did find was not too close to me. So I don't have it. So what I went with was a Brady's in.
Of
Who's
course,
the hill
your
spinach?
namesake.
My namesake. You can tell I'm not a
Yeah.
sommelier with that drip down the side.
Oh no,
However,
bruh. Me too. I got it too. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I got a
you
little
can
drip on
be
the
a sommelier and get the drips.
side.
We're
Hey,
all
it
in good
happens, man.
company. But I
I
did
think I've
have
gotten a
my
little bit
namesake wine.
lazier. Uh-huh.
And I know I've talked about this before on some other shows and some episodes and whatnot. And I know this is the first time I am really sharing this on video. I think
Okay.
there's Zinfandel because it's by far and large my favorite. Um,
I can't wait to hear your review.
I, well, yeah, I
But
think I give them
but,
all 5 stars if it had Brady on it.
I mean, by default, right? Well, before we get into yours, though, because I definitely want to, I definitely want
Yes,
to get your
talk
review.
about Zinfandel.
Let me just talk about Zen just a little bit, so people who are watching this get a little education out of this, other than us just enjoying the drinking part of this episode. Um,
Yes,
so Zinfandel is originally the grape it derives from Croatia. A lot of people don't know that because we've adopted the grape in the United States, and it's become like the quintessential California grape because a lot of other grapes are their lineage was immediately can trace back to like a European country, but we didn't know about Croatia until like very recently in the last like 20 years. We didn't know Croatia was the originator of the Zinfandel. We just thought it was our grape. Other than its kissing cousin over in Italy, which is Primitivo, they were considered like we thought it came from maybe Italy, but that was once they started doing a little bit of analysis on the grapes, realized that they're pretty much the same thing in different places in the world. So that's Zinfandel. Zinfandel has become one of the biggest grapes in California specifically. United States, of course, but California specifically, in places like Dry Creek and Sonoma, where it's grown amazing. Also Lodi, which is mostly known for Zinfandel because it's per capita, it grows more Zinfandel in Lodi than anywhere else in the world. It is a grape that's great by itself, and when it's made right, and let me just focus on when it's made right, it's great for pairing with foods too. Sometimes they can get a little, they can have a little love handles. They can get a little gloppy because the acid. They're very ripe, highly like quick ripening grape, and so they get really ripe fast. And so sometimes it loses some of its acid. And I think the great winemakers are able to balance off that fruit with the acid. And so that's what I love about Zinfandel. And again, if you want to know more about Zinfandel, go check out Lodi, Dry Creek, Amador Valley, which is where mine is from, which is it's foothills in Northern California. Livermore makes good Zinfandel. Paso Robles has some really good Zinfandel. I mean, there's a lot of places in California you can check, but those are the two main ones in California. So anyway, with that being said, I know you guys are tired of me yapping. Let's talk about your
Don't get off that topic yet.
Okay.
So I'll ask this question because I know if I don't, I know somebody else out there may have this question. But so you talk about acid inside the Zinfandel, right? And so when we hear that, I think of what I think of. But when you say that, what should people be looking for in their experience in the wine and thinking about pairing it with food or the experience they should be getting from that Zinfandel? How would you describe that acid effect?
So acid to me is probably the most important thing in a like natural acid in a grape is one of the most important things for balancing out that grape when it enters into the bottle. I want it to be naturally have some natural acid to balance out that fruit because a lot of times it can overwhelm the food if it doesn't have enough acid to cut through, like fatty dishes and food dishes. For example, there was a point in Lodi when they started making these 15, 16 and a half alcohol Zinfandels. And while they're great, if you're drinking them by themselves, you try to pair that Zinfandel with some food, and there's like maybe one or two dishes that may pair okay with it. It's not going to be perfect because at that point, at that highness of alcohol, they become almost dessert-like with the residual sugar that comes from Zinfandel too. If you don't have enough acid to balance out that high alcohol and that sugar, it's just going to be, like I said, it's going to have love handles. It's going to be clawing on, it's going to be staying on the back of your palate, not in the good way, and coating your mouth, not in the good way. That's what I think about when I think about acid. I look at it for balance. And I think it's probably the most important thing when it comes to wine, period, when you want to balance and drink by itself or pair with food, specifically pairing it with food.
I love that. And, I think this is one of the things that I found with, do you want me to go into my wine or do you want to talk about your wine first? Because sometimes I love all your descriptors so much more.
No, I've been talking too much. You go ahead and talk about your wine. I can't wait to hear this review, man, for real.
So Brady, yes, I am Sean J. Brady. I did not make this wine. I have no affiliation with this vineyard. If there is an affiliation, I haven't figured out with Don and his wife, who I do not know yet. But I will say that what I've experienced and just researched on Don Brady and what he's been doing, he has been a winemaker for decades and decades. He actually started making wine in Texas and is one of the few people who actually had his wine served to two U.S. presidents in the White House. I believe it was Bush and Clinton. And, I don't know if this is because he's from Texas or he has those roots and he's actually working from some other big wineries right now. This is from his smaller vineyard. They're a lower production vineyard, and these grapes, he has about 6 different lines, varietals, if you will. And I don't know if it was intentional, but I think a barbecue, specifically dry rub barbecue. Now I'm in Missouri, right? And there's all kinds of different barbecue that we think of. And then certainly Kansas City's not too far away from where I'm physically at right now. Tons of people from Kansas City all over the place right now. We're in the Ozarks. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking for some dry rub, even minimally seasoned type of meat, where there's just in multiple different ways, right? But that meatiness is coming through, and that's what the acid profile for this is me. Now, there's raspberry notes. There's, even like they even describe it as black pepper. I don't get so much black pepper, but I get that type of essence of spice and flavor on my palate where I'm like going, ooh, this would really be good. Not raspberry, like it's super sugary sweet. Like many of my friends who've had a lot of Missouri wine, we think of sugary sweet. Not sugary sweet at all. This is a nice, dry, very even, higher alcohol content. So it's pushing 15%. And but it's not like in a bad way where it's like, ooh, you know, I might wine a steak with this. I just described the barbecue. I think we go wonderful with it. And that's what I'm getting off of the palate. I was doing the nose a little bit, but then, you know, I am by the lake. So I'm like going, is this the lake or is it the wine? So I came inside where I'm in more of a controlled environment, but it's really, really nice. And of course, I'm getting into 5 stars because it's my namesake wine. Thank you, Don.
I'm not mad at you, man. I can't wait. I got to try it. I just got to get my hands on the Brady and check out what all this fuss is about.
Yeah, and truth be told, so I did get 6+ bottles for this. So that's a 5-star review in my world. Would I buy 6 or more bottles, or as my budget allows? And yes, I did. Now, in most places, this is from Paso Robles. That's where this vineyard is. And you know, this is just an aside. I didn't even share this with my family yet, but it's bottled by Geneseo Cellars, which you may know. Mm-hmm. But here's what you might not know about me and Sean Brady is that's where my dad grew up, is in Geneseo, Illinois.
Oh,
and
really?
So for those that have any Brady relatives from Geneseo, Illinois, that's where my dad grew up. And that's where my grandma and grandpa were when I was growing up. So I don't know. I know Geneseo, there's a lot of them all over the country, right?
Yeah, there are.
And I just thought, like, that's still kind of cool. You know, so it's a little nod to the Brady clan, wherever we're at from around the world. So fun stuff. Now I feel like I'm doing all the talking. But Jaton,
that's all good.
I want to know what the heck is in your glass, because you just been going, oh wow, I'm like I'm really gonna enjoy this. So you tell everybody out there, share on the video, what is going on when that bottle is in.
Anybody who knows me knows that I rarely shop for Zin. I have nothing against Zinfandel, but it was my first love. When I got into red wine, it was like the first red wine that I was really, really into. And my palate just changed a lot. So there's certain things that the flavor profile of it doesn't normally appeal to me. But every once in a while, you run into a few that are amazing. Like Brown out of Napa is probably my favorite Zinfandel. They have like 4 different types of Zin there. It's probably my favorite Zinfandel in California. They do it great. And I think I just found another favorite. This is Easton, 2015 Easton, which is the name on the label, Amador County Zinfandel. I'll try to put it up so you guys can see that. There we go. 2015. So this is in the foothills in Northern California, like kind of above Sacramento area. And on the nose on this wine, like the reason I've been oohing and ahhing is the nose. It's like super complex on the nose, and on the palate, it's doing what I wanted to do. So let me explain to you what that is. On the nose, I get this like wild raspberry. I'm also, that pepper thing you were talking about just made me, like I was already thinking about it. There's like this peppercorn thing going on here. There's like a little bit of like a black licorice and chocolate notes, more like dark chocolate notes, more like high level cacao. There's also like this burnt brown sugar going on here too on the nose. And like smoky strawberries too, smoky strawberries and like a little bit of an herbaceousness too, like a green herbs here too. And definitely some spice, like cumin. On the palate, So first thing is, when you're drinking Zinfandel, you're normally going to get, it's normally full body, medium plus a full body. This one's more medium body. It has lush fruit up front, but it's very dry on the finish, very dry on the finish. Tannins are medium. Acid is medium plus. There's some acid here. I'm gonna stick with medium, but it's kind of tiptoeing that line between medium and medium plus on the acid. A very long finish. There's like mad complexities on the mid palate. Like that raspberry I was talking about is the first thing that hits my tongue. There's some cherry going on here. There's also that strawberry that kicks in more in the third quarter. Some of that earthiness and that herbalness kicks in the third quarter and extends to the finish. This is a beautiful wine. This is a light on its feet. Pair with barbecue, pair with turkey dishes, pair with, I mean, this thing could go from game to beef to pork, ribs. All like this is a great wine. This is one of the best Zinfandels, and I just stumbled upon it because I love Zinfandel from the Sierra foothills. I love them, and I was like, I saw it on the label. I hadn't had it before, and I was like, let me check this out. And I'm loving this wine, like really loving this wine. It's an outstanding bottle of wine. Kudos to these guys, man, for real. A lot of people don't know about Sierra Foothills. They make outstanding wine up there. They do a lot of Italian varietals too, like Sangiovese and stuff like that. But they hit it out the park with this Zinfandel. Yeah, they hit it out the park. Sorry, when I get excited, you know how I get. I start like, it just goes like fast. Like all my descriptors come out really fast, and I just get excited with the wine. Yeah, this is beautiful wine, guys. You can get that Total Wine, by the way. Of course, Total Winos, Total Wines, get it. $17, that's all it was. So.
Love it. Yeah, so both these wines under $20. You should be able to find them for under $20. I mean, I'm here in the Midwest. I got this, and it's, really happy to find wines that, I would pay certainly in a restaurant a whole lot more money, but even expecting at retail above plus $20, I think is fine for, wine of this quality. As you were using some of those descriptors, I'm like, yeah, this has that higher cacao, not only in the nose, and I like what you said on the nose. It's not so much in the taste, but the spice of cumin. I'm like going, I noticed that in this scent as well. And it is a medium plus, right? It's not crazy over the top too much. Really, you can do a lot with it. And maybe we should be drinking more Zin. I don't know.
Maybe. What's the weight? Is yours more like medium plus the full body type of Zinfandel?
I would say at least medium plus. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. This is about 14.5 on the alcohol, so it's actually for Zinfandel that's low. 14 to 14.5, that's actually pretty low for Zinfandels. Zinfandels tend to get about 15 because they're riper.
15.
Yeah, which is not a problem as long as they got the acid to balance that out.
Yeah, and I'd say medium plus, not crazy full. I like what you said about the long finish. Mm-hmm. Really happy.
Yeah, the finish is very persistent, very persistent. So let me see here. And you said yours is from Paso?
It's in the vineyard's in Paso Robles.
Okay.
So that's where the small vineyard for Brady Vineyards in Paso Robles, in the Estrella River Valley. So for those that know the terroir and whatnot, that's where this is from. And it's amazing what a established winemaker can do. With the small batch, it's really lovely. It really is. And I know that there was some high points by some other ratings and stuff, but I don't necessarily love to go by those. It helps when we're in the store and we don't know. But I've had some 91 plus point bottles, certainly 90. And I'm like, where do they get that from? And then there's other times it's like pleasantly surprised. It's like, yes.
Yep. I've definitely seen that with people who, if it's a young wine, like somebody will rate a young wine and then you'll go back to it like 5 years later and try that same wine and be like, wow, this is amazing. I don't know how they missed the boat on this one. Because sometimes young wines tend to be a little volatile. Like, you're just popping and pouring. You're not even letting no air get in the wine to kind of let it smooth out. You're just popping and pouring, tasting it. And that could be all bad if it's a young wine. It's still figuring out itself. It's still it doesn't feel comfortable in its skin. It needs to, run around the track a little bit before it's warmed up for you. So, yeah.
Well, and I know I've done this and I'm sure you've done this or recommended it to other people, but where I've got I've tasted a wine. I'm like going, this stands to sit a little bit longer in the bottle, and usually at least 3 to 5 years. And I've done that with a few bottles, and just I'm like, you know what, it's good. Sometimes it's even like a good buy, right? Might be right out of the bottle. It's not working, but just knowing the grape and the region it's from, a little bit of that aging can make all the difference. So
agreed. So quick question. Well, not really a quick question. Let me see.
Make it a long question. We got all the time in the world. Jenny's got like hours and hours in the background. I'm just kidding.
She's just here to help us out, huh? Love you, Jenny. Well, no, I was gonna say, maybe one of these days we should, like after I give you a review and you give me a review, we go buy that same one, the opposite wine, and then review it again on camera with each other. You know what I mean? Like I'll go find your Brady, you'll go find this Easton, and maybe we'll come back to this down the road for you guys who are watching, and we can give our own other reviews, but on the opposite. So I don't know, it's just a thought. I really want to taste that wine on camera. So after your description, it made me thirsty.
As did yours. And if anybody else is out there, hey, subscribe to our channel, Total Winos. We're on the YouTube, right? There's links to all of us all over. You'll find links to Jaton's books. You'll find stuff to his cool merch, because he's got outstanding stuff, right? You got a couple books on poetry and other very wine-centric art, which I just adore. And I know Jenny and we're doing stuff too, where we'll actually have our own Totals Winos merch pretty soon.
Yes,
but more than that, we're looking to be just crazy about wine and do more of this stuff together. And if you at all out there watching this, whenever you find it, this is what kind of fun we like to have. And we hope you can enjoy this type of fun too with us, whether you're joining us live, you're evergreening this content down the road. And it's like, oh, whoa, hey, I didn't know they reviewed that 2018 bottle of Brady Zin. Yes, we did.
Well, feel free to leave us comments. We want to kind of center this show around you. So like, leave comments, send us messages, let us know what you want to know about wine, and we'll try to do some videos on it to educate and have a little fun with you guys. We definitely want to engage you guys and build a community around what you want to see. So definitely check us out. And then for our next episode, you want to drop what we're going to be tasting next episode?
Yeah, looking back at my notes, so it's June 24th, 2 weeks from today, right?
Yep.
And we're in 2021 for those that need a timestamp. But we're gonna do hot weather reds.
Yeah.
Weather
high
reds.
acid, cool, like wet reds that you can drink on the beach, on the porch, by the lake, like Sean Brady is right now.
Yes.
Enjoy your high acid reds. Yes. We want some reds that we can drink in the hot weather, and we're gonna list a couple for you guys and break them down for you on camera next time. So definitely
don't forget the chill factor. It's not going to be
Yes.
a bad thing to have a little chill on this sucker, so that you can do it, even when the sun's still out, or you have that moderate temperature sunset coming down on you. And if you're in the Midwest, you're going to have it coming down on you, whether you like it or not, with the humidity. So we want to have a little chill factor to it all.
And chill it. Don't drop ice cubes in it. I don't want you to ruin the wine. Don't do that. Okay, I have a whole chapter in my book about ice cubes and wine. Don't do it. Just throw it in the refrigerator for 15 to 20 minutes and then pull it out and then take it with you wherever you're going. Don't put ice cubes in it. Unless it's horrible.
We're not creating spritzers. We're not using spirits right now. No ice. Ice in an ice bucket. You can chill it down. Just don't put it in the juice.
Also, a little trick, a little kind of hack when you're trying to chill something fast. If you have an ice bucket, throw a little salt in that ice bucket, and then stir the bottle around, and it will chill a lot faster for you. Just a little hack, a little wine education for you guys, But anyway, I had a good time, Sean. Did you have a great time?
I always have a great time, especially talking wine with you, Jade.
Appreciate you, man. Guys,
Appreciate you
thanks
back.
for
All
tuning
right,
in.
everybody, look
Cheers,
for us
guys.
in future episodes at Total Winos. That's Winos with an S. And we may not see you in person, but we'll always see you right here on social media. Thanks for